Alright, we've got Matex versus Mix, and see what happens. Looks like on the left we got Kanawe, Saine, and Yatusha, and on the right, um, not entirely sure yet. So we got Mix opting for the Kanawe, Saine, Yatusha. Let's see what Matex opts for. Yatusha having her reflections, which is pretty good. She gains bonuses when she mirrors aura, flare, or life. If any of those totals match, um, then she gains bonuses on her effects. Hello?
Great. Can you hear me?
Yep. Alright. We've got and Matex coming out with Oboro, Tokoyo, and Saine. And not Natalia, excuse me. And let's see what happens here. I think that Mix's quality of characters is better, in my opinion. Um, but we will see what happens. I think Matex has a lot of experience. We've seen Oboro come
I
out.
do remember Mick saying that he has Kanawe on his team just so she will be banned.
I don't really have a lot of experience with the Kanawe matchup, so we'll see what happens. Oh, Kanawe makes it
Right.
through. Sinai gets banned and Talia gets banned. So we have Takoya Oboro versus Kanawe and Yatusha. Right off the bat, um, Mix deciding on looks like these are staple cards. I'm not terribly
Two
familiar.
staple attacks from Kanae, which you will usually include in every single deck you build of her, and two staple attacks from Yatsuha, which you will also usually include in every single deck you build with her.
And for people who don't know, Kanawe's gimmick is that she has plots that she can complete that move up a storyboard that isn't shown right now. And whenever you move up the storyboard, she gets bonus effects. And also, the storyboard gives her a alternate win condition where if she goes all the way to the bottom of the track, then she wins the game. So, very
The
interesting.
alternate win condition usually doesn't happen much from what I've seen. Your opponent often dies before you actually get to your win condition.
Yeah, usually, but who knows what could happen. But yeah, likely. We've got this. I don't know. A lot of people opting here for Takoyo A2. Um, don't really understand it. I Her all strike. I would just rather prefer polite return in most situations, but maybe not in this
Strike
matchup.
is a very good life poke for when your opponent has zero aura.
Yeah, also
If they
true.
do have zero aura, you are able to choose where the damage goes, and you will be able to choose for it to hit life directly, even if they are sitting on 5 aura or such.
That's very true. Very true. Um, yeah, in most matchups, it seems like polite return doesn't really get a lot of value, while I would consider all strike to be more valuable. Let's just see. This is what he's bringing. 3 to 4, and then on the right. Let's see what specials he's bringing. Uh, ah,
I find it interesting that Mix is deciding to take Censor, perhaps to block a potential Endless Snow or a Mikazura, but Matex did not take any of those specials.
yes. Very good observation. As I said, I'm not terribly familiar with any of these characters that are being played right now. So, looks like each choosing, oh, Mick's choosing the mole 2 and Matex choosing the mole 1, it looks like. And it looks like we're going to get right into it. Um, so here's the board I was talking about with Kanawe. You can move down. If you make it to the bottom, you win. And for red, you deal damage to your opponent's life. For purple, you get to take a basic action. With green, you get to put a card, discard pile on the bottom of your deck. And for yellow, your attacks get +1 life damage. So, and these are the different plots that you can complete. A lot of variety. I'll talk about them as
If
they get put
you
in
look
effect.
over on Conaway's plot board, I see two potential paths that Mix can take. If you go down the left side of the plot board, you'll be hitting 2 red places, which will burn 2 life from your opponent for essentially free. But if you go down the middle and go to the yellow part, then your attacks from attack cards will get +0/+1, which would work really well with Yatsuha. However, that space is a bit harder to get to than the free red life burn on the left.
Oops. Yes, very true, very true. Alright, so we have, let's see.
Matex decides to dump his entire hand,
Wow, for 2 flare,
which
or
is
2,
normal for Oboro to play.
so what was that? Um, focus twice and advance twice, if I'm not
Yep,
mistaken.
focus twice into 2 advances.
Okay, alright. On Kanawe's side, what's the act? Oh, and when it
He
references
plays
act,
a conception attack.
so it's a 1/1, right?
Yep, it's currently a 1/1. And he goes into composition. This allows him to play out a plot card, and we will see which one he decides to go for first. 2 or more total attacks and reactions to attacks were made this turn. Since he attacked with conception and composition, then this will advance at the end of his turn.
And when it makes it all the way to the end, the plot is completed and he can move down. And when it references the current act, it's talking about the current number on top of whatever space you're on the plot board. So very interesting. Um, Matex turn, draws 2. Going to just advance and advance. Matex taking very quick turns here. Seems like he knows exactly what he wants to do. And glancing strike for damage. The 1 free life damage. Let's see what
He
happens.
is also right in range 4 of Yatsuha's favorite range. So Mix gets 2 extra vigor to play around with in order to attempt to meet reflections.
Yes. So right now, nothing is reflected currently. Let's see if that will change.
I think the only other 2 attacks he has are Yatsuha's 2. So what order will he decide to play them in?
So he opens with this. It's a no reactions. Um, there are no reflections, so it's just a 3/1.
Oh, there are 2 reflections. Their
Oh,
auras are the same and their flares are the same.
oh, whoops.
So Grim Edict is currently a 3/3.
Oh, whoops, missed that. Alright, so he takes a 3 to aura. Obviously, you don't want to take 3 life damage this early in the match. That usually doesn't spell anything good.
Follow-up is a 3/2 attack from Astral Claw. And that fulfills the plot stage combat.
Mix, thinking about what he wants to do here. Not knowing the name of the card. But
Right. Mix decides to censor Endless Snow.
which says that
Unfortunately,
he can.
from what I remember, Matex isn't even running Endless Snow in this build.
Still very
That's still
interesting.
fine though, since Censor gives 1 vigor anyways when it disenchants. Disenchants.
He chooses to still get on the middle path. It's very interesting. Then he gets to cut apart from his discard pile on the bottom of his deck. I didn't see which
And
one it
he also
was.
activates the forced effect of his attack card from his play pile, which allows him to put it at the bottom of his deck. So now he has 2 cards to draw into next turn.
Did you see what he put on the bottom? I did not. But Matex pulling
Alright?
apart all of
Matex
Atusha's
is
cards.
looking through all the cards in play.
Yeah, Atusha's been able to put a lot of good pressure on early. Um, kind of curious to see what's gonna happen here. You usually don't see this sort of zero aura this late or this early in the game. Yeah, I kind of figured this was coming. Four, so that's 2 4 2 2s. I did see him bring this, so
Has 4 cards in his discard pile, so Kumasuke will make a total of 5 2/2 attacks.
oh god. Wait, so it's not 4 2 2s? Damage.
The initial 2/2 attack
Oh,
on the card itself, and then it attacks 4 additional times for a total of 5.
well, I don't think that he has a way out of this. This game looks a little doomed now for Mix. Um, is he dead? No, he's on
I
the money
don't
train.
recall Hanawe or Yasuha having any reactions to be able to dodge this attack.
Wow, this is the second match in a row we've seen this card come out and absolutely crush um, players. It's not one more.
Alright, and Mix uses the Flare to negate the last attack with Better Part of Valor.
Oh, okay. So yes, a little bit of life to work with here, but this is looking
Not much.
a little doomed because Steel Strings is likely going to come out, so that's something he has to think about. Then he's going to have to reshuffle. So definitely needs to get out of this range if he wants to have a chance of living through next turn. Either that or pull out some specials, or just kill his opponent. But yeah, looks like Mick's not anticipating that. A little odd to see that. Usually you always want to play around that card because that card is just how destructive it is. Usually not something you want to play into unless you have a good way out of it. But yeah, it's. We also saw Snake eating that attack, but he did end up winning. So let's see what happens.
So what Mix could have done last turn was to spend his last vigor and his card from hand to move forward twice into range 2, where Kumasuke will not be able to hit.
Yeah, I don't know. Mix just, I mean, no matter how you really look at it, it's definitely a mistake from Mix here. You definitely don't want to eat that much damage that early in the game unless you have some crazy way to get out of it. Something like an Immortal Flower, Cyanide Final Stage, or, something like that, which neither options would be available in this matchup. So, it's definitely a mistake here for Mix to end his turn at that range against a Obro in general, with the amount of flair that he had. Um, uh,
Right, we see a composition, and the next plot card will be Shower of Petals, which requires 3 or more Sakura tokens to be moved simultaneously this turn.
yeah. Let's see. It's just.
This can be achieved by playing a special card with a cost of 3 or more.
That's probably what we're gonna see come out here. Um, it doesn't work with enhancements, correct? Yeah.
Right, it does not work with enhancements. Unfortunately, I don't remember Yatsuha or Kanaway having any good special cards that can be played currently with a cost of 3 or more.
Actually, this might just be doomed anyway. Does is Matex packing that whatever the one that backs him up one? I don't know if he is. For
I'm not sure. I didn't quite catch that.
forget what it's called. I know it's not backstep. That's Himika. I forget whatever that. It's like I don't know some ninja move. But yeah, this is really doomed. Unless he needs to definitely get out of 4 range, though. There's no doubt about that. Looks like he's gonna play a special card coming out here.
This could be Yatsuha's Celestial River of the Six Mirrors. It gains,
Yep.
yep, +1/+1 for every reflection.
There are no. There's one reflection, correct?
Currently, there is 1 reflection, so it is a 4/2 attack.
Nah, it's not. It's not really good enough. What does overwhelm mean again? I forget.
Overwhelm means it is able to go above 5 aura damage.
Oh, okay. Okay, so we do see him recovering twice, but it just doesn't. I mean, he's gonna steal strings, and then he's just. I think he's just gonna go drop him to 0, and then
Their life totals are even right now.
that is true. Oh, how did he get a damage there? Oh, opponent is there.
He gets the free damage from the red plot, which gives
Oh,
1 life damage burn.
yeah, correct. So yep, steel strings coming out here. That's what I expected. And yep, he is going to reshuffle here, try to look for lethal, steel strings into anything. We should know steel strings will just be lethal, or that.
Right. There's the Rush of Blades. Since Mix took damage to Aura this turn, it is a 4/3.
And that's a game.
And Mix loses.
Yep, that was awkward. Yeah, running into the Kuma Suke. Definitely a giant mistake. Not something you want to run into early in the game, if ever, because it is just such a deadly attack. I'm a new player. That's funny. Um, yeah, and another thing that we couldn't talk about is that he could have just censored the Kumasuke, um, but he chose to pick an A2 Takoyo special and then just got bared to death. Well, anyway, that was Mix versus Matex, and yeah, Matex takes it.